Hey, I hope you are doing good. My name is Tania. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be talking about forgiveness, and the verse will be coming from, chapter, verse, whatever, will be coming from Colossians 3, verse 13. And it's NLT version. And it says, make allowance for each other's faults and forgive anyone who offends you. Remember, the Lord forgave you, so you must forgive others. So recently, I have been dealing with this whatever. And it has, really just made me think about forgiveness, And it just really, you just never know how God may use you and who he may use you to help and when. And like being a child of God, being chosen by God is, it's no joke. It's just not for the weak. I will say that because, the Lord will have you helping those who did you wrong, or not even that, or rubbed you the wrong way, or may not have, agreed with, or you just may not care for them, But, when you are living for God and wanting to be closer to God, you have to suck it up and forgive them and do what it is that God has called you to do. We must, first off, one thing that I realize is that we really don't treat each other like humans. And what I mean by that is we don't like, it's, let's say, a friendship or a relationship. When your partner or your friend does wrong, we automatically assume that they're supposed to know everything. We assume that they're supposed to do everything perfect. Or this could be your child, your mama, whatever. We could assume that they're supposed to do everything perfect. They're supposed to do it the way you want it to be done, and etc., etc. Now, from a child and a mother standpoint, or a father, whatever, as a kid, we only know what our parents tell us, you know what I mean? And we only know and go by based on what we see, and when the things we do, and let's say just teenagers, like, we are in our learning and making mistakes phase. Like, especially now, like, you're gonna be making mistakes all your life, but right now it's trial and error for us because we're coming of age and we're, slowly starting to get out in the real world. Sometimes we just have to understand that, we are still kids. We are still learning. We make mistakes just like our parents make mistakes our age. And, we have to understand and make allowance for one another's faults. And, not to hold it against them. Now, I'm not saying, like, just forget about it and be like, oh, okay, it's good. No, I mean, take account for it. Like, yeah, you messed up, but I'm not just going to sit up here and hold a grudge over your head either, though, because that's not what God do to us. Because we do the Lord wrong sometimes, and he do not do us how he could do us. So we have to take that same mindset when it comes to, our peers, our parents, our relationships, our friendships, all of that, you know. And then you just never know, people change. People change. God changes people. People change. We just have to be mindful of that. Who we might have been friends with or been cool with 2 years ago may be a whole nother different person now. You know what I mean? Like, that's just like me. People who knew me in 9th grade or middle school, you don't know me now because I'm different. I look the same, but I'm different, God works on us, each and every one of us, in different ways, in different areas, And for me, it's just like, me personally, I feel like when God changes us, he changes our mind, he changes our hearts. So, just forgive one another. And then you never know who you might have to help. You don't want your differences or your past issues to get in the way of you helping somebody, especially when it's important. Because you know, God when God calls you to do something, help someone, you should take it seriously. Don't take it lightly, because what if the tables was turned? You would want them to take it seriously as well, especially if that person will, if especially if God is working through that person to save you. You know what I mean? Or not necessarily say, but you get what I'm saying, to help you, to turn your life around. You know, of course, God only has the power to save, but he can use his people to, you know, save people and help one another and, you know, go the right path. So I really encourage you all to forgive people. Like, in the end, time is running out. So many people are getting out of here, especially young people. Speaking specifically to my younger generation, me, do not hold grudges with nobody. Do not have no unforgiveness in your heart about nobody. No matter how little it was, no matter how big it was, it don't matter. You go apologize, you talk about it, you whatever. Forgive that person and move on. It's not worth it, y'all. Like, people are dropping like flies. You think about something, oh, I should apologize, or I need to apologize, but no, I ain't gonna do it. Then next thing you know, they out of here. They done passed on. And now you got a guilty conscience. A conscience, I don't know. You just feel guilty. You know what I mean? Like, your spirit is troubled because you knew you should have did it. You knew you should have picked up the phone and called them. You knew you should have texted them. Regardless of how you think that person might respond, you make the first move. You go out and do what you need to do. Because at the end of the day, we all have to take account for what we did. Not what they did, but what we did, how we responded to it, and how we reacted to it. So once again, forgive people, make allowance for people's faults. We human, we make mistakes. That's okay. You know, continue to pray for one another. You know, we're all trying to do right. We're all trying to strive and to make it to see Jesus, or what we should be. And if they're not, pray for them so they can be. Yeah, I hope you all are blessed.